Wake up, everybody. Today is... What's today? I don't know. It's a Thursday, though. And we just got done streaming some really pathetic Deep Rock Galactic, but we pulled through at the end. Thanks to Robert. We were just falling on our faces, and then Robert showed us, like, fine, I guess I'll show up and show you how it's done. And he did.
That's those moments where you realize the value of having a tank.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, we're here to talk a little bit about some Pokemon news that happened like 2 weeks ago now, I think. But it was really exciting, and I wanted to talk about it, but we didn't have a podcast. We don't have a podcast anymore, so we don't have an avenue to do that. So we're going to do it right now. We're going to talk about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Not the dumb stuff like Pokemon Go and the mobile game, but the cool stuff, the Diamond and Pearl remakes, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and then the new open world Breath of the Wild Pokemon thing that they've got going, which is Pokemon Legends Arceus. So I am excited about both of these things. I think the remakes look great. My favorite Pokemon games of all time are the Gold Silver remakes, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So I'm just hoping for more of that in my favorite gen of all time, which is the Diamond and Pearl gen. And then the Arceus stuff, just that looks new and refreshing. Even if it looks ugly and poorly performing, I think that going in a new direction is really cool of them to finally do after, I don't know, 25, almost 30 years of the same exact thing every other year. So those are my high-level thoughts. What do you Sean, what do you think about this?
So I haven't played a Pokemon game since Silver and Gold, when like Silver and Gold was the when they first came out. So Platinum or Diamond and Pearl. I enjoyed the trailer. I enjoy that little like chibi style artwork that they have to it. It was cool to see Pokemon following you, which I remember being a thing in Pokemon Yellow, but I don't think it was actually done in Silver and Gold. So I haven't actually seen it done in a game in quite some time. So it'll be kind of interesting to have the opportunity to go back and play a Pokemon that also maybe a little bit closer in vein to what I'm last used to playing, because I think Diamond and Pearl will be similar in playstyle to Silver and Gold, as opposed to trying to jump into like Sword and Shield, which came out, and all the things that have changed in Pokemon games since then. Arceus, I am intrigued. I'm also confused because so we saw that trailer, right? And we saw, like, you can sneak up on Pokemon and hit them directly with Pokeballs, or you can throw out your Pokeball and your Pokemon will do battle. Where I lacked is, if you're going to call this kind of Breath of the Wild, is I don't know, like, it was cool seeing the world. Obviously, this is supposed to be, like, early on in the Pokemon world, because it's kind of primitive.
It's ancient.
Right? Yeah, it's ancient. But, presumably, this is going to have a bit of its own story that isn't, go get your eight gym badges and go fight the final four. I got obviously there was like that big storm in the trailer, and your what are your legendary god tier Pokemon showing up, but how that all plays together into what I presume that game will have a bigger story, or I guess I hope that game kind of has a more overarching narrative story. I don't think we got any indicators there.
No, we didn't, and there's nothing to go off of. Like they showed the new like kind of gameplay loop, and a huge part of it's going to be filling out the Pokedex in a new, different kind of way. You're not just catching it and getting a little fun little blurb. You're catching it, and then you're visiting it again, and then you're watching it use a certain move a number of times, which is cool. It's fun when bestiaries, fill themselves out like that. It's not just a one and done thing. It makes it feel more natural and authentic.
Yeah, like you're actually doing research.
Right. Like, but what are we doing in this game other than just that? No idea. I mean, that'll still be the bulk of what we do, but what is it like? What is it encased in? What's the set dressing, the window dressing? No clue. It's no idea.
It must be smuggling Pokemon.
I hope so. I hope you can choose to be the bad guy for a change.
I almost wonder if we're going to end up getting something that's in a lot of ways similar to almost like a Monster Hunter. Like
I've heard that thrown around a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Cool. But it'll if they try to do that, it'll suck compared to Monster Hunter. I don't think that's their wheelhouse. But maybe we'll see. Robert, what did you think of these new announcements, or rather the addition? Because these have been announced, right? But these were like the most details we've seen.
Yeah. So as far as Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, like That will probably be the third time I've played it. Like re-released different
Nice.
times. Like it.
Right.
I like those games. They were fantastic handheld versions of them, and they made up for what I hope the Legends game will do, which is I was disappointed by the lack of a narrative arc and just the length of the game in Pokemon Sword and Shield, which was I thought for a console game that should have been 3 times as long. So that's just my opinion, though. I might have binged it, and maybe I lose time now as in my 30-something years. So I don't know. But I'm probably going to be playing both of these things, and I will particularly keep an eye out on the new format of the Arceus one that I think has potential.
Yep. So you touched on, I wanted to touch on Sword and Shield, your opinions, and then you did. That's great. Juliet just beat it 2 or 3 days ago. So it's very fresh in my mind, having watched her play like the back third of it. And while it's an incredibly competent game, and there are parts of it that I really do enjoy, overall it's an incredibly disappointing title, Sword and Shield, like you said. Like there's just so much that falls flat. And you could theorize forever based on comments they made and the time frame they made it. Like this was a 3DS game that they like rushed out the door to upgrade it to a Switch game when they realized that they weren't going to be able to fall back on like the traditional handhelds like they've always done, and that they were going to have to come swinging on the console space. I don't know. It's hard to say, but overall, it didn't live up to what one would hope a Pokemon console game would be.
Right.
And yet, funnily enough, I'm ready to just gobble up 100 hours of a DS remake, which is what Diamond and Pearl are. Because I've only played it through the one time. I never played Platinum, and I never went back and replayed it again. But I really, really liked it. And I really hope that they include all that Platinum stuff, because I think it would be a giant misstep if they didn't. So far, they've been really cagey about advertising the Platinum specific stuff, the new story content, the expanded Pokedex, and a couple of the other like post game features. They did show off like you have your underground base and like tunnel system, which was this fun little, like, to call it a mini game isn't quite right. It was this just huge like secondary side activity you could do and spend hours and hours on. Had a heavy multiplayer component, and it still will in this. Except now we have the benefit of having like modern day, networking and interconnectivity and all that stuff, online play. And so I'll be able to play with Robert. I won't even have to get out of my house, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
Which is how Pokemon is supposed to be played.
But
from your couch, with nobody around you.
Right, exactly. Except I'm still going to come over to your house, and we're still going to play in silence in the same room. Like that's
so
nostalgia
good.
right there.
That's
so
that's
good.
really the best way to play video games
Oh, yeah.
with other people.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I remember friends and I would we'd gather in my driveway because my parents would make me go outside, but they didn't tell me I couldn't bring my Game Boy outside. We'd sit in the driveway and we just play Pokemon or whatever we had on us, and maybe chat and chew the fat a little bit. But for the most part, we were just quietly playing our video games.
It's the best.
Let's see.
Do you think so? Arceus is obviously a different direction for Pokemon. Do you think this is them testing the waters for trying to kind of move on to something different, or do you think this is just a little side distraction? When
for now, it's a side distraction. It's coming out in January, which is kind of weird. It's coming out 2 months after the November release of the Pearl, or I'm sorry, the October release. No, is it November, October? Either way, very close to each other.
It's post holiday season, which, like, if you compare it to movies, the movies that come out in January and February are the ones that were not expected to do very well, and so they want to release them without competition.
Right. I mean, it's the easy, safe answer is like, obviously this is a test until it proves to be worthwhile, and then they will shift resources towards it depending on the level of that success. What I wish they would do, so we'll talk about that more because I can't really guess what they're gonna do. I for no second think that we won't see another game like Sword and Shield. We will see a regular Pokemon game that advances the to the quote unquote next generation and adds like 100 new Pokemon like they always. We will see that again because they just have to. They have to keep doing that because of the Pokemon Empire.
Right.
Yeah.
None of the show, the toys, the merchandising, none of that works without the games and that particular cog. But what I would like to see them do is what Activision does. If Game Freak's going to be a one-trick pony, fine. Like all these years later, and they still can't do much beyond what they've done since itty bitty Game Boy days. Fine, whatever. But what I'd love to see of them is use all that money. If you have to work in these crunchy deadlines, hire 3 teams. Hire another, which is kind of what they did. They've got their main team working on Arceus, presumably anyway, and that's their only team because they're a very small studio comparatively. And then they outsource the Diamond Pearl remake. So whether you keep outsourcing or you hire another full-size team within the company, whatever you do, that's the second team. And then then get a third team to do your traditional style new Pokemon games. And then just have these on repeat. And now those teams have anywhere between 4 and 6 years to work on their one game while the other team rotates into theirs. And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they do with Call of Duty. It's how they get it out at that fidelity, at that level of polish and quality every single year.
Yeah.
Because they've got 3 huge development teams working on them. Mm-hmm. Just put a little money in and do the same thing. I mean, I guess technically, if you're already doing that and making a bazillion dollars, and then all of a sudden you add more expenses, you're only going to be losing money. So I don't see how. I guess I can see how that would be appealing to them. But Pokemon could still grow. Pokemon doesn't have no growth opportunity.
No,
and so it could continue to be
let's
more
face
popular.
They're only putting out right now a game every handful of years. If you could cut that in half and have the frequency of games coming out to be half what it is right now, they'll make more money. The games will sell.
Yeah.
I'll buy all 3 of them. I'll buy all 3 of them. There,
Yeah.
you've tripled the money that I've been putting in. So there,
Yeah, I think the sweat, blood, and tears triples the value of all the delicious games. I think it's just, yeah.
I can taste the misery, and it looks like Pikachu. Real quick, what's your favorite Pokemon, Sean?
My favorite Pokemon is Pidgeot.
Pidgeot, very good choice. Classic, but also underrated.
Yeah.
Or underrated. That's the word I'm looking for. Robert, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Haunter.
Very good. Very
Nice.
good choice. Good line there. I'm gonna off the top of my head. I'm just gonna say Empoleon, the Piplup evolution, the final one on
that's
that.
a good one.
Because he's an emperor penguin with metal arms and it's too cool. It's too cool, and he's gonna be in both of those games.
Wait,
So that's really
wait,
cool.
I changed
Jason's
my
favorite
answer to that one.
to Empoleon.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got the same favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Jason's favorite Pokemon, he's not here, so he can't defend himself. Jason's favorite Pokemon is Jinx, or the one that's a piece of garbage. The actual literal piece of garbage. That's Jason's favorite Pokemon. Because it's also his spirit animal.
Nice.
Any closing thoughts?
I hope, when we talk about, Arceus kind of being like a different way of telling Pokemon stories. I think it would be cool if, because this is going to be kind of in the past, if they take, this more narrative approach and they work their way back through the generations telling narrative stories in the generations. I would like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then we can, revisit different areas.
Exactly,
different legends
and it'd be
stuff.
kind of fun to revisit. So you get that nostalgia bit of revisiting the areas, maybe at a slightly different time period in the future or past. You get to see the deltas, and then also the Pokemon you're going to be getting. But it would be nice to do a version of that is a little more narrative heavy. I'm not sure we're going to get that, but I think that would be awesome.
I still think that's shooting too high. I agree,
Yeah.
but I hope as well. Because this huge thing about Pokemon has always been there's been, at least going back to the originals and then the earlier titles, is there was always the mystique. Legend says. Every game had a bunch of NPCs talking about what used to be, and so they have this huge opportunity to dig into what used to be.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get either of these, Sean?
When Sword and Shield came out, I felt the itch to go play Sword and Shield and actually to go play a Pokemon game again. And just the timing of it coming out with me settling into a new duty station, all that just didn't play out. But I'm tempted. I think I'm going to be both tempted to pick up the Diamond and Pearl remakes just because I think they will be quality Pokemon experience to kind of have that fun again. And then I'll probably sit in Arceus for a little bit and read some of the reviews. But I will certainly be following it. And if it looks intriguing, I'll probably pick it up.
Cool. Robert, what about you? One or both?
I will
Neither.
definitely be getting the Pearl or Diamond, whatever one I did not play originally, just because apparently with my increased presence on this channel, nostalgia is the name of the game. So I'm probably going to
It
get
is.
it again. And then as for the Arceus, I'm not going to say I'm going to get it yet. I'm going to hold off and wait. But like at this point, I'm saying 60% chance that I'll get it.
It's pretty much exactly my sentiment. Like you'd
I say, I
the
think we're-
Arceus news
we're
has
all
to
on
be
the same point there.
Yeah.
yeah. The Arceus news has to be bad. Like utterly
Yes.
horrifying. Like what did they do? Otherwise, I will check it out. I want to see. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I want to reward them for stepping outside their comfort zone. And I just for my own intrigue, I want to see what this is about. But if we're coming back with like reviews are literally in the dumpsters, then I'll skip it. Otherwise, I won't. And day one, Diamond Pearl. That was easy. I went Pearl originally. I'll go Diamond if you want to. I don't care. I'll just get the opposite of you, Robert, because I know you're getting it, and that way we can.
That sounds good.
Trade what we need to trade.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. Tell us what you tell us your favorite Pokemon, and then what you're excited about these two, and then like, share, subscribe, and just post lots of GIFs, pictures, and artwork of Jason as
Pokemon.
Trubbish and Garbodor. Those are the garbage Pokemon. I want you to put his face on the garbage Pokemon.
Yeah.
Thanks. Something, something, something.
Never free to play. Bye.
Never free to play. Bye.
Yeah.
No. Bye. 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 Bye.
Goodbye.